Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we tackled Kenji's mission Deal Steal, where we impersonated the Yardies up at the hospital and brought a briefcase right back here to Kenji's casino. In this video, we're going to tackle the next Kenji mission, which is called Shima, where we're going to up the ante and bring 3 briefcases right back to that same spot in Kenji's casino. Here I'm quadruple speeding a short trip. We haven't started any mission. I also cut out an uneventful visit to my safe house garage. I'll talk about that soon in this video. But just taking a look at Uncle BJ's deli and supermarket, and notice that the signs all look good, the windows all look good, everything looks to be in order here. This building, this business, is going to be featured in a cutscene and during this mission. So we're going to come back to that, but I just wanted to show you before you start this mission, everything looks hunky-dory over at Uncle BJ's Deli. Okay, so now we're going to head over to the mission start icon and check out the cutscene while I talk to you a little bit about this mission. This is a multi-phase mission. We're going to find out that it's time for us to pick up some protection money that is owed to Kenji. And we got to pick up a briefcase in, I don't know, South Torrington, I think it is. And then we got to go maybe Bedford Point to pick up another briefcase. But that one is guarded by a Diablo. Surprise, the Diablo shouldn't be on this island. And then we go to Uncle BJ's, the third location. And instead of being able to pick up the protection money there, he's going to say that he was already robbed by a gang, and we have to head over to get the money back from that gang. And it turns out that gang is the Diablos, and we're going to head over to Hepburn Heights in Portland to take out all the Diablos and pick up the briefcase, and then bring it right back to Kenji. So counting the here I'm just getting a wanted level just to show you that you can pick up the briefcases with or without a wanted level. Makes absolutely no difference. Okay, so counting the starting mission marker and the ending mission marker, there are 6 checkpoints in all in this mission. So I'm counting like the first, like we started the mission, that was 1 checkpoint. We just picked up a briefcase, that was a 2nd checkpoint. Right now we're headed to the next checkpoint. This is going to be the one where where there's a Diablo guarding this briefcase. You don't need to kill the Diablo, but it's obviously safer if you do. I don't know what I ended up doing here. I was just kind of monkeying around. Anyway, just had to get the briefcase with or without killing the Diablo. So 6 checkpoints in all. Makes no difference having wanted stars at any point during or between those 6 checkpoints. Okay, and now we have to head to Uncle BJ's. That's the next destination. And like I said, we'll see a short cutscene at Uncle BJ's. I'm fast forwarding this drive, and I'm also cutting out another meaningless trip that I took to my safe house garage. More on that later. Yep, so there's the cut. And then we head over to Uncle BJ's, and we will see that his storefront is looking a little bit worse for wear. Yeah, we'll take a good look at it after the cutscene here, but those signs are not looking great. All right, what does Uncle BJ have to say? Oh man, he's ticked. My goodness, Claude. They took everything. All right, we got to go get it back. And we're not useless. We're the Yakuza. Okay, so here I'm just going to take a quick walk around the building here, and I'll say that I've beaten this mission maybe 40 times when I was speedrunning the game. Never noticed that the deli was fine before the mission and damaged during the mission. I'll also share that Uncle BJ's deli remains damaged after you pass this mission. I don't know if it happens like through the rest of the game it's going to be damaged in this way, or if it'll get repaired at some point. I'll check it out like right after I beat the last mission or something. And now we're going to take the long drive over to Hepburn Heights. But first we'll point out there's another Uncle BJ's Deli and Groceries franchise right across the street. Back in 2001, there was not a Starbucks on every corner, but apparently there was an Uncle BJ's Deli on every corner. Okay, cutting another trip to my garage, more on that coming. Okay, and so I will share that I only learned about this detail, the Uncle BJ's storefront being all messed up, from a YouTuber named Come Here Often, and that YouTuber has made some GTA 3 videos where they point out things you may have missed, and they make connections between various people and events from the GTA 3 universe, and then they come up with fan theory to try to explain or support those connections. So they made a video exclusively on Uncle BJ's Deli. It's linked in the description below. Go check it out. Check out their other stuff. It's interesting. Okay, so here we are at Hepburn Heights, and you can kill these guys from afar. Oh man, I'm getting beaten from behind because the Diablos are ticked off at me. Uncool, man. Okay, so I'm trying to leave one Diablo alive. You can see that there's a green icon for the briefcase and another green icon for each Diablo that I need to kill. So I've left one Diablo alive. He's hanging out on the wall here to the left. And then we're going to head into the park and go grab the briefcase. And it'll say like briefcase collected or something. But it isn't going to say, like bring the briefcase back to Kenji's because you're not ready to. You have to take out every last one of the Diablos with an arrow over their head or that are marked on the map in green. So I don't know. Like I went real close to this guy, wondering when he was going to trigger. He's myopic, like nearsighted. He can't see far, or maybe he's got terrible peripheral vision from the left side. I'm not sure. Okay, now finally, take the money back to the casino. I made the mistake one time in my speedrunning days of thinking that I could save time if I just run in there and take a little bit of damage from the Diablos and grab the briefcase and then head to Kenji's, only to learn that that was not a time save at all. Okay, this is a different attempt. I have not collected the first briefcase. You can see it in the far south, and I just wanted to demonstrate that you have to collect them in order. I was at the location of where the second briefcase should be, guarded by the solitary Diablo, but it wasn't there. So you got to collect them in order to progress the story of this mission. Okay, so I didn't show the end of that mission, but I'll show you here the entire mission. This is my final attempt, and you'll see the whole thing from start to finish. And here's the challenge I came up with myself. I want to kill all of the Diablos using only my bat, and that sounds like a risky proposition because I think there's 6 of them, 6 Diablos in Hepburn Heights, and they all have guns. So we'll see how it goes. I'm also not going to refill my health or armor, except for possibly grabbing the heart that's in the middle of Hepburn Heights, like that park where all the Diablos are hanging out. There is a heart right there. You may have seen it in the previous clip, 2 clips ago, I guess. So I'm willing to get that one, but if I have to get more health or armor besides that one single heart, then I'm going to call it a fail and I'll restart my attempt. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the mission trivia. So here's Diablo victim number 1. Again, you don't have to kill him, but for the challenge, every Diablo that is part of this mission is getting some bat. Okay, from the wiki. In Japanese, shima means island. It's also a slang term for gang territory. This fits in with Diablos moving onto Yakuza turf. Right, because the Diablos aren't supposed to be here on Staunton Island, and we already saw that one Diablo by the second briefcase, and then the Diablos ransacked poor Uncle BJ's deli here. So yeah, shima meaning turf or a gang territory. Okay, this is one of the only cases where gang members can be found out of their respective turf. The other missions are Bomb to Base Act 2, that was where we found the Colombian cartel in Portland docks and on that boatyard. And the Colombian cartel are not supposed to be on Portland Island at all. They should be in certain areas of Staunton, and they are in way too many areas of Shoreside. I'm having flashbacks to the paramedic attempts on Shoreside. I'm still triggered. Okay, and also in Espresso to Go, which is a mission we'll do later in this series. But anyway, there we will see the Colombian cartel spread out on all 3 islands, including Portland, which is not their territory. And then also there's a mission coming up later in this series called Bait, which will feature the Yakuza in Shoreside Vale, but the Yakuza should only be on Staunton. So not very often the gangs are found outside of their territory. This is the only mission in the game showing the rivalry between the Diablos and the Yakuza. The robbed supermarket salesman, I guess that would be Uncle BJ, shouts, "You guys are useless. What kind of Yakuza are you anyway?" This fits brilliantly within the context as Yakuza in Japanese means useless hand. And when they say hand, they're talking about a playing cards hand, useless hand of cards. Yakuza is useless hand of cards, and he called us useless. And that's why I said we're not useless, we're Yakuza. See what I did there? Okay, so let's just see how attempt number 1 goes. So I'm scoping out the fellas here, and I know that if I just go in there, I was going to say guns blazing, but that doesn't make sense. Bats swinging. If I go in there bats swinging, I'm just going to eat it real quick, even with 186 health points. So my only strategy, and meanwhile, there's just like a random Diablo who's harshing my vibe. My only strategy is to maybe like lure them out. I think I need to space these guys out. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get not more than 2 of them to come with me, and probably 1 of them, and just seeing if I can isolate them and not take too much damage. I know I'm going to eat some damage. Gosh, this one guy, he's not even part of the mission. Leave me alone. I've got a random challenge I'm trying to do. Okay, down to 167, 153, 106. That guy hurt. Get some. Okay, now I was wondering if I could maybe hit this guy from over the wall. No, but he can hit me from over the wall. All right, that hurt. He took like 130 points. Get some. Okay, 27. This is fine. Now don't forget, there is a heart that I'm going to use to fill up on here in this park. It's a little bit north of where we are right now. So we're just running around here, no problem at all. This kind of reminds me of when I was trying to do, what was the name of that mission? Kingdom Come, the last King Courtney mission. All right, here we go. Got the briefcase, we got the heart, and I got the heart just in time. They were already down to 14. We were at 27, and then we filled up to 100, and now we're down to the 007. Oh my goodness, it's a James Bond tribute. Okay, so there's still one guy left, and he's over there, and if he hits me with a bullet, it's over, and I don't want to do this again. So let's see. All right, I said I grabbed the briefcase before. I guess I didn't. All right, tree. This is my favorite tree in the whole game. Leave me alone, sir. Boom. Apparently you can hit this guy through the tree, and that's how it's done. Okay, and then we'll just take the drive back to Kenji's Casino. Easy. Okay, so a little bit. Oh, and here I was like, oh, I know the trick. I'm just going to look to the side and this guy won't pull me out. But he did. He saw right through my patented technique of not being pulled out of a vehicle. And if he hits me once with the bat, I'd die. Oh my goodness, scary times. Okay, so I'm going to read from something on the rockstargames.com site. It's actually, I think it was something they posted in on Facebook in 2011, and it's just answers from Rockstar to fan questions. So we'll just read a little bit here. A couple of folks asked why Claude doesn't talk, and Rockstar says, it may seem obvious now that people should all talk in games, but this was not necessarily the case in 2001, certainly not in an open world game. We were making up a lot of procedures as we went along, and we decided that the NPCs should talk, and we would have to figure out how to make them talk using motion captured cutscenes, something that had never really been done before, at least not on the scale we were doing it. So we decided that the game's protagonist would not talk, partly to aid people identifying with him, but mostly because we had so many other problems to solve and this did not seem like a major issue. We started to discuss introducing a talking lead character when working on Vice City, but it was a lot of work. While the structure of GTA 3 may seem obvious or natural now, and the use of cutscenes made in the game's engine that look and feel like the game may seem simple and easy, it really was not the case back in 2001 when we had to figure out all of these things for the first time. Oh, and in San Andreas, CJ calls Claude a mute because he does not talk, and CJ finds this unnerving. Right, so there's some cross-referencing between GTA 3 and San Andreas, where Claude and Catalina is like featured in like 4 missions, and Claude is there as well, although he doesn't say much. Okay, next thing I want to read from Rockstar. It says, who was the inspiration for Claude? So here I'm just refilling my health and armor in preparation for the next mission. Okay, so Rockstar says the inspiration for Claude, there wasn't any one single inspiration. We just liked the idea of a strong, silent killer who would be juxtaposed with all of these neurotic and verbose mobsters in an amusing way. He seems stronger and in control while they seem weaker and frantic. A couple of folks want to know if there's a backstory on Claude. And Rockstar says he's a bank robber with a noisy and psychotic girlfriend. That's Catalina. More than that, it's hard to say. Definitely a drifter, probably from the West Coast, new to Liberty City. Surname may or may not be Speed. S-P-E-D. Sorry, S-P-E-E-D. Speed. Claude Speed. Maybe. I don't know. And then last question I'll read here. Did Claude kill Maria? So this is at the end of the exchange after you beat the final story mission. Maria is just droning on and on and on and talking about how she and Claude are going to be a great like romantic couple together, and then there's a gunshot, and instantly she stops talking. And I thought that was pretty clear that it was implied that Claude just shot Maria. But Rockstar says, did Claude actually shoot Maria? We're not sure about this. Some think he did and some think he didn't. Certainly in an original version of the script, Maria had a longer, really annoying speech, but then someone in the audio department wisely put an end to that. Quite what that means for Maria, who can say? I can say. GTA Failure is right here definitively saying, yes, Claude shot Maria and she died. And then finally, one last thing from the wiki. It says the safe house garages won't repair vehicles during this mission from right after the angry supermarket salesman until the end of the mission. I tried and tried and tried to see if this was true, and I could not verify it. I tried at every point during the mission. All of those times you saw me cut out a trip to my garage, and every single time the garage was happy to repair my vehicle. So I don't know what the trivia is getting at here, but I couldn't verify it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.